Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 14th, 2022 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading and this meditation, I want to thank each and every one of you for your healing energy, for your well wishes, as I've recovered and am still recovering from a concussion, a rather severe concussion. I slipped, I fell, I hit my head, and I thought I could just walk it off. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal at all. It became something much more serious. So thank you all for your healing energy, for your positive well wishes. It means so much. It was a scary time. It still is a frustrating, a little bit scary time. So thank you all so very much. It is so appreciated. This community that we have is just beyond the realms of wonderful. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart. All right, now let's do our meditation, clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Libra, February 14th, 2022, Libra. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. 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 Fantastic. So it's a bit of a new setup. Let me know what you think of it. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the High Priestess, and we have the Hermit. So if we are born on the cusp with Virgo, Virgo energy is going to come out very prominently here. Also, if we have Virgo within our natal chart. But this is also a time when we're looking at love, right? Because this day is all about love. It's marked on our calendars. You know, chocolates sell, flowers sell. It's all about love and connection, and it's also all about marketing and the way that we perceive, the way that we're supposed to be moving forward in love. And yet this is a time for us personally where we start looking at what love means to us. We start lifting the veil around how we perceive people to have things, or what is marketed to us, and we start to say, what do I want? What do I need? And we're guided by that light. And that's going to be very important for us on this day, whether we are in a relationship and have been for 30 years, or if we're starting out in a relationship, or if we're single and either wanting to find somebody or perfectly happy being so. We're looking at what we need from love and how that love manifests within our lives and for ourselves. It moves us to our inner self, and it is the Seven of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. There's something where we think, I have to stand my ground, I have to fight here. Or we're so used to just having a energy of fight or flight, or I have to defend myself, or something to that effect. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune coming in and saying, no, it's a change of energy. It's kind of like, I don't always have to be so vigilant. I don't always have to be standing guard. I don't always have to be, pushing towards XYZ. And that's going to be very important for us. We're embracing a new change here, and we're embracing a new way of connection. Then we have our emotional self. We have the Ace of Pentacles, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing us a gift of prosperity, of wealth, of abundance when it comes to love. And then we have the Hierophant. This is traditional. There's something about this day that we want to be a bit traditional, about the way that we show love, the way that we embrace love on this day. But it's also going to be the way that we embrace what is intrinsically important to us and what it is that we desire. So the Taurus energy. Now, Taurus is ruled by Venus. Now, we ourselves, Libra, are also ruled by Venus. So love is absolutely important to us. And yet when it comes to our heart, we have the Hierophant coming forward, and that's an energy of more following the rules. This is what the institution is. This is what things need to be. In medieval times, the Hierophant represents the Pope. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck here, it represents Taliesin, who was a fantastic bard and absolutely known in Celtic mythology. And so here it's like reaching the pinnacle of success, right? And we might want to reach that within love, but we have to do it on our terms. We have to do it for what's right for us. And it doesn't mean that we hold all the power, but what it means is that we look at what we want, what we need, what we desire, and we let that illuminate us, lead us forward, guide us in a way that others might not understand, and in a way that we absolutely long for, in a way that is right for us. Meaning that if it's a quiet evening home, then it's a quiet evening home. Meaning that if love is, shared with family and friends and everybody coming together, then that's what we do. But we're looking at our hearts at this time and saying, what is it that's important to me? Not what is it that I think that I'm supposed to be doing or think I'm supposed to want. And that's going to be very, very powerful on this day. Because again, this day, it's all about love. It's marketed to us this way. It's been years that we look at this day on the calendar and we say, oh, it's about the chocolates and the flowers, but it's not. It's about the connection. And that's going to be so important for us. It moves us to the public arena. And we have the Hangman, we see things differently. And we have the Page of Cups. We become a student of love. We become a student of our connection and what we desire, because we are looking at things so differently than we had before. It leads us to our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. And it's the Prince of Wands. It's wanting to move forward in passion and be swept away with passion. And yes, that's going to be super alluring, but we have to be very mindful of the energy that we're letting into our lives, very mindful of the power that is guiding us. This is a sense of, this is love, this is passion, this is all, consuming, and nothing else matters. And that's going to be something where, again, it's going to be alluring, but we need to not fall victim to that, because that energy is going to be fleeting. It moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. And that's Mother Earth. This is the Earth Star chakra, located 6 inches below our feet. And there's a real sense here of, I need to connect with my earthly self. I need to connect with what I desire, what I need, what I want. And we're saying why here. Well, not why here. We're saying I here, because that's so important. We need to say how I connect. And it's going to be very important at this time to look at our individual connection with the earth and with ourselves as we move forward in love. Because we can look at things and say, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be. And I'm supposed to be this Earth Mother, or I'm supposed to be XYZ, however we're seeing our role at this time. And yet we need to understand that nature changes her roles, changes the seasons, changes the weather that she gives us, changes the food that she provides. And we need to also change with the feelings that are around us, change what we expect from ourselves and for ourselves, because it needs to be connected. It needs to be connected with something more organic, not this is the role that I'm supposed to be playing, type of thing. And it moves us here to our High Priestess. And actually, before we get to this, let's talk about the astrology of it all. The 14th of February is the waxing gibbous moon in Leo. And the waxing gibbous moon is the progression towards the full moon, because the full moon is on the 16th, which means that the energy around us is all focused on completing our goals and our progress forward in our lives, and about taking action. That's why it's going to be so alluring to take action, so alluring to say, okay, the energy that I need is the energy of action and now and doing, not the energy of connection and stabilizing and grounding. That's going to be something that feels foreign to us, and yet it's not going to be foreign to us. It's going to be something that is rather beautiful if we connect with it. The moon is opposite Pluto. Now, this has intense hidden emotions starting to rise to the surface and demand our attention. Our feelings are not only intense, but they are also complex, and we need to acknowledge this and realize this. Also, the moon is opposite Mercury. Now, we can appear outwardly cheerful and fine, and that can be our default, most definitely. But inside, there's a fragility that needs to be acknowledged. There is a intensity that needs to be understood. And on this day where everything's supposed to be roses and sunshine, to say this is who I am, this is what I need, this is what I desire, as the veil is lifted from our eyes, can feel scary, but it's also going to feel empowering. And so the High Priestess comes in on Valentine's Day and looks at things not as we want them to be, but as they are. And so we're looking at the world around us, we're looking at ourselves, we're looking at our partners if we have them, and we are seeing with so much more honesty our progression forward, what we want, what we don't want, what we need, what we don't need. And this becomes a game changer for us. And it leads us to looking at our passion and our light and what leads us, what guides us, what do we want. There's a beauty in solitude here. There's not going to be all the answers found within solitude, but there is a beauty in inner self, in connection, in contemplation, in understanding. And that's going to be a powerful tool that leads us forward, that guides us. And this is going to be a time where we find ourselves needing to connect more and more with who we are and what we want and what's important. And as we do this, we're going to find that there's certain energy that we think, I have to fight for this. And it can come from our childhood, it can come from heartbreaks and pains and disappointments, but it's like, okay, I need to stand here and I need to fight for this progression forward, for what I want, for what I need. And this is going to be a time where it's like, why am I wasting that energy? Why am I taking away from so much beauty within my own self by having to be on the defensive? And that's what moves us to the Wheel of Fortune. It moves us to the tides of fortune changing, and we're finding a new season moving forward. We're finding a new connection that is guiding us. We're starting to look at things so differently than we have before. And as we do this, we can feel like, okay, there's a change here, and that can be what we're fighting against, this change, because we want things to be a certain way. But what we're opening up here on this day that is synonymous with love, is what I want from my relationships, what I want from my relationship with myself. And that's what leads to the change. We're going to think, oh, well, this is what I have to fight for. And yet Spirit is saying, if you fight, you're not being present within the moment. You're thinking about what your opponent is going to do next, or how you have to defend yourself in this way or that way. It's not being present. It's not being here. And the Wheel of Fortune is saying it is time for us to embrace the power that changes us, that moves us, that guides us, that heals us. And that a new season is coming, and it's not one of fighting. And that's going to be so important, because we have here prosperity and success coming. We have at our heart God, Source, Spirit, again, however you see the divine, the universe, coming in, handing us a gift of prosperity and success, handing us a gift that moves us forward into a new way of being, into a new chapter in our lives. But we're looking at the seeds that we want to plant, that we need to plant, and what we are desiring for ourselves and for where it is that we need to be. There's a beauty here. There is something that we are nourishing, that we are moving forward, that it's going to be surprising. And as it is surprising, we're also going to find that it's a key to what we need within our world, to what is intrinsically valuable within ourselves and for our lives and for the way that we move forward. The Hierophant is this change of power, right? Is the sense of tradition and ideas and success being this certain way. And yet we're looking at things and we're looking that we hold the keys. We hold the keys to what it is that we need in order to be happy, how it is that we need to move forward, how it is that we are connecting. And that becomes a beautiful, transformative time for us. And it has us looking at what it is that we truly want, what it is that we truly need, who it is that we truly are, how it is that we're moving forward. And it brings us to this place where we start to see ourselves differently. And here it says waiting, rebirth, sacrifice, and reflection. And it's also the energy of Odin in Norse mythology, who hung upside down from the tree of life and found his wisdom, found his understanding, found his guidance. And this is going to be a time where, through looking at things differently, through having to be uncomfortable, we start to see things in a new light, in a new way, in a new power. And that brings us to finding inspiration in the most unlikely of places. That beautiful fish in the cup. It's like, oh my goodness, I didn't expect that. And then it has us also, I was just looking to see what is written. It says magic and love and fun, magic and love and fun. It's like all of a sudden I start to become a student of my heart, of what my heart needs, of what my heart longs for, of what it is that is my definition of love. Not necessarily the way the world is supposed to sell us love or trying to sell us love. It's like the love that I want, need, and desire within my heart, within my soul, within myself, to move me forward, to open up the doors, to bring me to this place that I long to be. And this is going to be a time where, as we're looking at things differently, and we can think, oh my gosh, I'm going bonkers. It's like, no, I'm stepping into what I actually love within my world, within myself, and what is beautiful within this connection. It brings us to our subconscious rooted energy, and it's the Lovers. It's Gemini energy. It is a sense of love and connection and our angels guiding us. It's embracing the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine of our being. It's finding that balance and that beauty within ourselves. It's moving us forward. It's knowing that at the root of us, as we're seeing things clearly, as we're connecting with ourselves, is this love, is this passion, is this way of connection that is just absolutely beautiful. And it brings us to our subconscious in ourself, and that's the moon. It has us looking at our fears. It has us looking at how the monsters that once terrified us can be the guards that are around us now as we conquer our fears, as we move forward in our empowerment, in our understanding, as we awaken, as we see. There's a balance of the subconscious and the conscious. There's a balance of what I want to be and who it is that I am and what it is that I need. And as this comes forward, our subconscious emotional self is the Seven of Wands. Again, we have to be very mindful of thinking and falling back on the emotion of I have to fight. Now, yes, we have to stand our ground. Yes, we have to, fight for what we believe in. But the energy of always being on guard is draining and overwhelming. So we do need to be mindful of that. It brings us to our subconscious public arena self. And that is the Tower. Here it says destruction and enlightenment, release, destruction, enlightenment, release. So when things are destroyed, when old ideas are destroyed, we are enlightened. We release and are thrown out of our comfort zone and start to see a world in a new way, start to see our world in a new way, and start to move forward maybe in a way that we never expected or anticipated or maybe even desired. And so here in the public arena, at this kind of essence of ourselves as we're moving forward, is the sense of, but everything's been shaken, everything has changed, and that change isn't necessarily bad. That change can be empowering. It can be absolutely overwhelming as it happens, but there's an empowering focus that is leading us forward to say, I have walked through. And for some of us, we've walked through, the bowels of hell. We've walked through the hurts and the pains and the disappointment. We've seen all of it, or a lot of it. And we're not the same people that we were going in. And so we have transformed. And so we see ourselves in this transformation more openly, more honestly. We see what we want and need and desire from love in a new way. And not to be ashamed of it, but to say, this is what I want. And it might not be, again, what's being sold to us. Always erotic love is sold to us, which, is fun and good and a time and a place. But our world tends to chase the dopamine highs, right? The things that enhance our pleasure. And so in the first 6 months of a relationship, those dopamine levels are much higher. And yet, as time goes on, they start to wane. They start to wear away. Or is it 6 weeks of a relationship? I can't remember right now. But we're going to see that if we always chase the high, we're always going to be disappointed. It's not saying to settle, but there is something beautiful to somebody who is as peaceful and quiet to be around as silence, or as your own self. And we're looking at the change here that is guiding us forward, that is leading us, and that we have been through, that now redefine what we want from our relationships, how we want to connect with our partners, how we want to connect with ourselves. And that's beautiful. It's powerful and it's overwhelming, but it's also beautiful. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Princess of Wands. We have to be mindful, just as with the Prince of Wands, as being sucked into the power of immature passion, of thinking it has to be one way or, nothing at all. And that's just not true. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, and that's balance. The root chakra. We need balance, stability, security within our lives, but also within the energy that we're connecting with. Is that balance always going to be there? No. Because one of us or both of us will be out of balance at times. And it can even be within our own selves that we feel out of balance. But we're looking at harmony, and we're looking at the connection with the earth and what we desire to help us move forward in harmony, in balance, in the yin and the yang of who we are and where it is that we need to be. All right, Libra. And we're all about balance. We are the scales, aren't we? All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the revelations that come, as we step into this time of love, and as we open our hearts. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra, and may you have a blessed Valentine's Day.